Yo, what up, fam? We're back, and what a good time it is to be on Air-Deraan. Nailed it.
Nailed it. First time!
First time, every time. I like first times, even if they're good or bad, they're always memorable.
Well...
Spoiler alert! In any case, I'm Vojta.
I'm Freddy.
And we are freaking stoked to talk about this fucking episode.
Chapter 13 of The Mandalorian.
Chapter 13, episode 5 of season 2. And oh my god, what's this coffee doing to me? I'm at like 150% energy.
Oh god. This episode is episode 6 of the podcast.
Indeed.
Episode 5 of the series.
There are too many numbers.
There's too many numbers. I think we say that there's too many numbers every episode, which we should have a counter. The amount of times we say there's too many numbers, which will be a number in of itself.
In that case, we probably shouldn't do it. That would be a bit too overwhelming.
It would be too many numbers.
Master Math Teacher, there are too many of them. What are we going to do? Well, how do you know there are too many of them without counting them first? Oh no, foiled again!
Oh god. Well, on that note... in this episode, we'll be going over our general thoughts of Chapter 13. Then...
we will go a little bit more into the specifics, into the nitty-gritty of what actually happened.
Well, yeah, we're going to go over a brief rundown of what happened.
And then we're going to... go into the nitty-gritty is the opposite of what I meant.
We're going to come up with the name of the episode first.
Yeah, well, we will have to fight to the death again. I might be a Force ghost now because I lost... both the duel to the death for the naming, and also I became the fake fan of the podcast.
Yeah, and then we blew up at the end.
Yeah, it's funny how it happens. It's like poetry, it rhymes.
Thanks, George Lucas.
Thank you, prequel era George Lucas. Everyone's favorite George Lucas.
It's my favorite. That's my collectible Black Series George Lucas.
That's the George Lucas who I have drawn as a fresca on my wall. Of course, in Slave Leia outfit.
Oh god, that's my favourite Funko Pop. George Lucas Slave Leia.
If anything, it should be a recolor of the Jabba the Hutt figure, shouldn't it?
Oh wow. I do find it funny how people can say Slave Leia outfit, but if you say like Slave George outfit, it sounds weird.
Yeah, because Slave Leia is a thing that we know exists. Slave George. I don't even want to go there.
No. After we come up with the name of the episode, we'll just go into
the details.
That
is actually what the nitty-gritty is.
That is the nitty-gritty, not the other part.
Okay. And we do have a lot of stuff to talk about this week.
I would say, hot take, more nitty-gritty than Biggie Stones.
What?
I don't know. What's the opposite of nitty and what's the opposite of gritty? I was like, grit, big grit, stone.
What does knit mean? Small?
I don't know. Well, I don't know. Nitty.
Crochet. Sand?
No, sand is smaller than grit.
Granite? Because it's a solid object.
Whoa.
It's a solid. What do you call this that I'm touching right now? Surface.
Yeah. So we're going to be going over the crochet granite of the episode, and then later we'll go into the nitty-gritty of the episode.
Yeah, of course, the crochet granite is also the character that we've been introduced in this episode.
Oh yeah, the crochet granite, wow, that's my favourite one.
It's a better name than Tobias Beckett.
Oof.
Let's not get into...
Let's not get into names just yet.
We can just say that we have some pretty big name drops.
On the whole, what did you think of the episode then?
Well, dude, I don't know. You tell me first.
Okay, I will. I thought this episode was alright, personally. I don't think it was the best. I would say perhaps directorially. Is that a word?
Yes.
And I guess editing as well, as my least favourite of this series. Series as in season, because I'm not a Yank. And,
whoa.
Get wrecked.
I guess I am a Yank then.
War of 1812 called. We want to burn your White House again. But yeah, I thought this episode was alright, but it introduced a lot of really cool things, and I'm really happy that it exists, because everything that was in it, I like. I don't know if that makes sense.
It does.
Yeah, what about you?
I will agree with you on definitely the editing. While we were watching, I did mention that it felt a bit choppy, It felt like the editor was just slightly... that he had about half a cup of calf more than I had then.
It could be a tribute to Chopper.
Oh yes. We got our name for the episode, I guess.
Oh yeah, he's in Rogue One!
Yeah! But anyway, I would disagree on the directing, because I was picking up like little things that felt like very different to other things. Like just like shot composition and things.
I personally thought the shot composition was... I was thinking when we were watching it, if this was animated, I would be completely fine with it, but it's not.
Yeah. I had similar thoughts, because I don't think that it's a spoiler, we've discussed this before, that this episode was written and directed by Dave Filoni, who obviously had his beginnings, and so far, well, up until Mandalorian, the height of his career was in animation.
Yeah, so
obviously he started in Avatar: The Last Airbender.
Yeah, so hand-drawn.
Even more obviously he did Clone Wars and Rebels, not Resistance, and it shows.
I think it was producer in Resistance.
What even does that mean anyway?
Well, producer has a pretty big role of what happens in a film.
Well, yeah, but he wasn't nearly as closely involved.
It's like
as
how
he was with the other shows.
Everyone praises Kevin Feige for being a producer for Marvel films, and then when people mention Kathleen Kennedy as a producer for all the Star Wars films, they have a riot.
Well, there's one big obvious difference between them. One of them is not a white man, and that in the eyes of entirely too many people is a problem.
I think this podcast is the "we don't hate Kathleen Kennedy and feel bad that she gets hated on" podcast.
Yes, that was the last one as well.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if you meant podcasters in the series.
I meant podcasters in the series.
Oh yeah.
Starting
last week, we're gonna rebrand into the Shillcast.
The Shillcast, the Check Cast, because we get checks in the mail,
and I'm Check.
Exactly.
Yeah. Unfortunately, I get to be the person who is Check, and you're the only one who gets to cash those in.
Yeah, I'm not
complaining. You're a more marketable person.
Thank you. Well.
But other than editing, I thought that this episode was actually a little bit like the previous one, in that it didn't do much in the ways of plot, but did do a lot in terms of fleshing out of things.
Yes,
but it did do more plot than the previous episode.
I think this one did more immediate plot. The last one set up things.
I would say
this one does set up things, but I'm going to talk about that.
Yeah, I would say it has more story.
Yes,
not relatability. It has more story in it, but plot as it is, like fewer things happen.
Yeah, that's something I learned in media studies. Story and plot, different things.
Definitely.
Different things. They don't do media studies now, for the record.
I do media studies, and I didn't... Well, I did know that, but you know. I didn't...
You didn't know it, but you said it anyway. You're a natural, Voita.
Let's push this button. That might close the cockpit and get me to safety. Oh no! I blew up the Trade Federation ship and became the greatest podcaster on Earth. I'll try speaking until I say something interesting and then edit the rest of it out. That's a good trick. I'll try spinning my wheels until I hit on gold.
Try spinning your luck, Voita.
Is that a phrase?
No.
I'll try it anyway.
Well, I guess we...
Yeah, I guess we
both
can
like it.
We both do like it, but we have our reservations, both in the editing department. And I also thought that like some of the visuals were a little bit weaker.
I wouldn't say visuals. I would say
graphics.
I think it goes hand in hand with the direction, because I can't get into specifics at the moment. Unfortunately, I'll probably explain what I mean later.
What I meant mostly was the color palette was very drab.
Oh, yeah. Well, compared to the last episode, which was color.
Yeah.
And
even though it took place on a volcanic planet with no volcanic activity.
Fucking so much color in that episode.
Blue men, blue food.
Blue men, indeed. I mean, the fact that the Blue Men group did the music for Chapter 12.
I clapped.
I clapped. Like Blue Men Group, like the Pantorans. Pantorans are going to be in bloody squadrons.
Do you remind me who the Pantorans are?
You know the Star Wars Clone Wars episode Trespass?
Oh, is that who they are?
They're
Is
the
that who George Lucas plays in the prequels?
Indeed, he is a Pantoran. He is Papanoida.
And so is his daughter. She is not Papanoida,
She's
but she is a
Papanoida's daughter.
Pantoran.
And Pantorans are a playable race now for Imperial pilots, which is interesting. Why?
Why them and not Duros, for example?
Duros are playable for Rebellion.
Interesting. I was going to say Duros because I was going to ask Chiss and then thought of an obvious reason why they couldn't be, because Chiss barely ever show up in the Empire, not counting Thrawn, of course.
Yeah, they live outside of everything.
Their Chiss ascendancy.
So you're going to say the shill ascendancy for a second.
That's another new name for our podcast.
The shill ascendancy. Oh my god.
We're joking, but we don't take money from Kathleen Kennedy and we still like her.
No.
Make of that what you will, haters.
Whoa. Yes. Wait, how many people will watch this podcast?
So far, our average is 5.
5! Way! Well, and this is episode
6.
Well, no, including...
Well, not including the Bodhi Rook episode.
No, episode of The Mandalorian I meant.
Well, same.
Is this episode 6 of The Mandalorian?
No.
Yeah, it's episode 5!
Yeah, if we're not including Bodhi Rook, then this is episode 5. And also, if we're only including Mandalorian, this is episode 5.
Yes, that's what
and
I meant.
also, if we're talking about Imperium Strikes Back, that's not what
Imperium
it's
Strikes Back. The Imperium of Man have turned up.
That's what it's called in Czech.
Oh, really?
Yeah. It makes sense, I guess.
Yeah.
They alternate between calling the Emperor the Imperator and the Czech word for Emperor.
Yeah.
Both of them are technically the Czech word, but one of them is like a loan word and the other one isn't. Well, it is a loan word from like Latin or whatever.
Yeah, from Caesar probably. Yeah, I wonder if in like German he's Kaiser Palpatine.
He probably is.
Yeah, that'd be interesting.
We can watch it in German right now.
We could.
It would be interesting if when we get around to watching original trilogy for the podcast, we watch it in Czech dub. With English subtitles.
No, but then we'll have to watch a special edition.
Well, I don't care.
I do.
I've never had a problem with it. This is very off topic, but
yeah, we haven't even got into what happens in this episode.
No,
continue.
oh no. Anyway, what are we talking about? Oh yeah, I've never had a problem with the special editions. It's probably the only versions I've ever watched because I don't want to see the Palpatine face that gets changed anyway.
You barely see it though.
Well, but it's noticeable that he looks completely different.
Yeah, but I grew up with the widescreen edition of the original trilogy, which is the theatrical cut. Mm-hmm. Like, it is the theatrical cut because it hasn't been cropped, hence widescreen. So I was pretty shocked when I saw the special edition for the first time when I was probably around 9. I was like, what the fuck is this shit? I remember watching A New Hope and they were going into Mos Eisley. There were all these fucking CGI things. I was like, what is going on? What's happening?
You mean the Reek?
Is that the name of the small things?
No, that's the name of the big things.
Oh, the big thing.
The one with the chunky giraffe.
The one with the Jawas falling off.
Yeah. And I think...
Is
it the thing that's walking in front of the camera, or was that a dewback?
I think that's No, I think that was one of the big giraffes walking in front of the camera. Look, it covers up the frame for like 2 seconds. Come on. You gotta be screaming internally when you see that.
Well, no, because I'm used to it. But what I do have a problem is...
It was one droid driving in front of it, and it only took up the lower third of the frame. Whereas in the special edition, George Lucas was like, no, you should see none of it.
What I do have a problem is it like droid who's trying to lift something and there's one buzzing around.
Oh yeah, and he fucking goes whack like that.
That's literally what I'm talking about.
Yes,
that is weird, but like I feel like it's in the spirit of George Lucas because it's kind of reminiscent of that big frog who eats that smaller frog in episode 6 and burps.
Yeah, but that's episode 6. Episode 6 is like my favourite, and so I'm not going to critique that one.
Well, I will.
But what was it? What is funny is that in one of the cross-section book things for all the locations in the original trilogy, there's a map of Mos Eisley, and it shows the route that Obi-Wan and Luke went, and it makes what I remember this vividly. They were going to go along the main road, but the main road was blocked for part of the way because there was a wedding procession going on.
Interesting.
And so they went a different way, and I was always like, why is that in there? And I'm sort of thankful that wasn't an entire new scene in the special edition. I mean, I don't mind it. I don't mind that detail, but it doesn't. I don't want it in the film. That's what I mean.
I would have liked to see a Star Wars wedding, considering that as far as I can remember, the only one that we've seen was Anakin and Padme.
And that was a secret wedding.
Exactly. And the Naboo one to boot.
Yeah.
To Naboo.
To Naboo.
To Das Boot.
Oh, God.
It's Das Boot, by the way. I know. We're gonna get letters. I hope.
We're gonna get physical letters.
We're gonna get snail mail.
I want letters that aren't bank statements, please.
I would like letters that are checks from Kathleen Kennedy.
We went pretty off topic.
Yeah, and we are about 18 minutes into the episode.
Well, we did think that we weren't going to talk. Well, I did.
Technically, we have not been talking spoilers about the episode.
It's true.
So,
if you don't want to be spoiled, fuck off.
What? No. What?
No, then fuck back.
Did you say fuck back?
Okay, I mean, come. Cut that out.
No! Not only am I leaving this in, I'm going to put that at the end of the episode again.
Okay.
So far I've done that only once, and that was with you saying back to racism.
Well, I mean, we were talking about it.
Yeah.
Okay, so after you've watched the episode, now come back.
Okay, now that you watched the episode and...
And then you just said that.
No, you didn't!
Oh, you did!
Okay, never mind. Let's try again. Okay. Now, for real. Now you've watched the episode, we can get into the nitty-gritty... No! What was it? The big granite?
The crochet granite.
Crochet granite of the episode.
Yes.
Are we going to make that a thing?
No.
No.
We're never going to mention it ever again for the rest of our lives. So, yeah, this episode is... mainly goes over Mando going to Corvus to seek the Jedi Ahsoka Tano.
It starts directly on the planet.
Yes.
We're basically getting straight to Ahsoka Tano right from the get-go.
Immediately.
In the media res, one could say.
Whoa.
She's kind of giving grief to this outpost in the middle of basically a wasteland.
I thought it was a city. Because no, it is a city because bloody
it has streets and people.
Bo-Katan calls it a city.
Okay, fair
I can't remember the name of it, but
it might be just called Corvus City or whatever.
No, it's definitely not called Corvus City. It's called something else, but it doesn't really matter.
It's called the city where Ahsoka lives. One word, and it's spelled different.
That's my favourite city.
Yeah. So she is fighting the oppressive regime of that city.
Of Caladan.
Calodan. Nice to see you, Daniel.
Indeed. And she's killing people.
Very much killing people. Even though she may have sworn that off in the past. But hey. She may have sworn it in back.
She might have sworn it back, yeah.
It has been a couple years since she did that.
Well, yeah, because Siege of Mandalore, she didn't kill anyone on purpose. Mm-hmm. She did the whole Batman thing of, you fell to death. Or whatever.
Well, they were also her friends. They had
I meant the Mandalorian.
Of Mandalorians.
The Mandalorians that she was killing.
I like that. Also funny that she had no, she did have an issue killing them. That's why she didn't. It could have been that she knew that she can't cut Beskar, which we find out in this episode.
Maybe, but you do see them get shot.
It was a Beskar killing gun. Anyway, let's continue with the crochet granite. So she's fighting this regime led by Magistrate.
Morgan something.
Yes. And that's kind of the situation that Mando finds not her in, but she finds the Magistrate in. Did I say she? Did I call Mandalorian she?
Well, no, when Mando goes to the city, the Magistrate explains that they have a Jedi problem.
Yeah, and basically tries to hire him to kill Ahsoka. And offers him A nice little artifact, sort of one might call it a Beskar spear, because that's definitely
What it is. That is what it is.
One could call it a Bespear.
One might not.
But one might.
No.
But two definitely will.
Whoa. Always two there are.
Always two people who call it the Bespear.
Well, it is the best spear.
Definitely, it's very efficient at fighting Jedi.
Yeah, and
as we find out later on.
I'm not sure if Mando did think it was a fair trade.
I do think that he did, but he knew that he needs Ahsoka more than the spear.
So that's why he never verbally agreed to the contract.
I did not pick up on that.
But he does say that as well.
He does say that later on, but he does kind of play along.
Yeah.
He just plays it cool.
So he doesn't disobey his creed. But he goes into the charred forest, and then he puts wee Baby Yoda on a rock, and then bim bam, she gets ambushed by bloody Ahsoka.
Ambush! He gets episode 1 of Clone Wars by Ahsoka.
Oh, yes!
I was trying to do the Wolf Yularen narration.
Yeah. That's how you need to read the Star Wars crawls, in that voice.
Yeah. It would be cool if they did that for like a super special edition.
Oh, oh, God, super.
I would love that. For the Dave Filoni recut of Star Wars. I would buy that on a Blu-ray, even though I don't have a Blu-ray player.
Yeah, I have. I've got, which is cool. But yeah, meets Ahsoka, and Ahsoka's like gonna kill Mando, and Mando's like, Ahsoka! Stop! Ahsoka Tano!
I was sent here by Anakin Starkiller!
Oh, God. But yeah, it's bloody Ahsoka, played by Rosario Dawson.
Yeah. He does say, in fact, that he was sent by Bo-Katan. And they talk. They look over the child.
Yeah.
They talk about the child extensively. And we will discuss what exactly they establish.
Yeah, but basically, long story short, bloody Ahsoka and Mando come to a deal that if Mando helps Ahsoka take out the Magistrate of Calodan, then she will train Baby Yoda.
So they go ahead with that plan. They have some cool fights and some slightly less cool fights.
Yeah.
When the city is freed, JK, I pulled a sneaky on you. Basically, Ahsoka backs out of the deal because Baby Yoda and Mando have become too close, too attached. They're too much like father and son.
And it's a bit weird that Ahsoka's like that. It seems that Anakin's given her PTSD.
It does seem like that. Well, that is kind of the last point that we saw her at, not counting the ending of Rebels, which
we will discuss.
And we didn't hear her say anything, so she might be even more jaded.
Yeah, but bloody Ahsoka says, "I'm not going to train Baby Yoda. So go to bloody Tython, put Baby Yoda on this random fucking rock, and
he'll decide his own fate. Basically.
He'll decide his own fate,
or he will let Force guide him.
Yeah,
and it also might attract Jedi to you." Which, or someone who isn't quite a Jedi, maybe someone a bit more, may I say, suspicious?
Suspicious? Sounded a bit like Sid Vicious then.
It does, yeah.
Or Luke.
I don't think it would be Luke.
It's not going to be Luke, played by bloody, what's his face?
I was going to say Austin Creed.
Austin Creed.
That's very much not him, that's a wrestler.
Whoever everything is bloody... played by Winter Soldier.
Yeah.
It's not going to be that. I do not want to see that, personally.
I wouldn't mind, but I don't want to see that anyway.
I don't.
It would be better than CGI Luke from Rise of Skywalker.
Oh my god. Actually, no, that was actually Winter Soldier. You just didn't realise because you weren't looking good enough because you weren't a good enough Star Wars fan.
You were just looking at it through the check you got from Kathleen Kennedy. It made you blind to how amazing that movie was.
Indeed.
And how much better it would have been if someone made a cut with no female characters.
Fucking hell. What?
Why is this, but unironically, that actually exists? Why are people like this?
Yeah, people are like that, and it saddens me. But you know what I'm thankful in this episode about? The female characters, otherwise known as Ahsoka.
And Morgan as well. She was pretty cool.
She was pretty cool.
She was very evil, but pretty cool.
We don't know that much about her.
We don't know her fate. We don't know where she's at.
I don't know if I want to say that. You can cut this everywhere. Hot take. Cara Dune is a better character than Morgan.
We said we wouldn't talk about this.
Okay, cut that out then. I guess we could... Yeah, so we named the episode The Chopper.
It's either The Chopper, or I was thinking of Chirrut Imwe, for two reasons. One, Force user unaffiliated with the Jedi or anyone, and two, someone who uses a stick to fight.
It's true, but I thought that Chirrut Imwe doesn't use the Force uses him. So I'm not sure if he and Ahsoka are that linked.
It is a very good point.
He also fights with the staff much different to how Morgan fights with the staff.
Because she technically doesn't use a staff, it's a spear.
A spear, sorry.
The best spear, I'm sorry.
Best spear.
See, I got you to say it.
Oh, fuck!
Pranked!
You didn't see it, but Boita did a dab.
We've both done a dab today.
You can't prove anything! Well, let's go into our general thoughts, I guess, on the episode. And I just want to say just one word, and that is Grogu.
Good thing you said it, because I kind of forgot what it was. I thought it was a Goger for a second.
Goger! Grover!
Grover. Super Grover! Yay!
Oh, no!
Grover is the guy from Sesame Street, isn't it?
Yes.
Okay.
But yes, Baby Yoda, his name is Grogu, and
confirmed.
he was a bloody he was a Padawan, or youngling, sorry, in the Jedi Temple on Coruscant during Order 66.
Yeah, which at least in the beginning struck me as a little bit weird, that it's like a big retcon, like why was he there? Why didn't no one see him? Because another Yoda, that would be a big deal. But then I realized that the mystery of Yoda's species is only a thing outside of the Star Wars universe. No one ever questions who or what Yoda is in the movies, especially since Yaddle exists.
Well, I think that Ahsoka sort of doesn't know what species, because she says the only other person of I'm not calling him Grogu all the time, of Baby Yoda's species was Grandmaster Yoda.
Grandmaster?
Grandma. His name's Grandmaster, isn't it?
I don't think so. You might be thinking of a different grand person.
I'm not like my granddad.
I'm talking about Grand Moff or Grand Admiral.
Well, no, he's the head of the council.
He is? I thought that Windu was the head.
I thought Yoda was the head. Hence why.
Well, I thought
Yoda gets the final say in everything.
I thought that was the reason why Windu had a purple lightsaber. I know that isn't the reason outside of the movies, but
I don't think it's inside the movies either. I think Mace Windu just has a purple lightsaber because he does.
A lightsaber?
Yeah, I was hoping you weren't going to pick up on that. Jesus Christ. I mean, Dank Ferrick. Well, they want us to say now. No instance of Dank Ferrick this episode. I give that an A.
Isn't it just bloody Cara Dune's thing?
No, because Sasha Banks' character also says it. Clearly, it's a wrestling / fighting thing.
It's the dankest new slang.
Oh my god. I much prefer Carabast.
I don't. Mostly, I don't know. Carabast, I don't know if it's Steve Bloom's delivery on it, or that it was a big purple cat who said it, but I just can't take it seriously.
You hear it in Rogue One.
Do you?
Yes.
Who said it?
One of the rebel Pathfinders in Battle of the Scarif, I believe.
Pathfinders, okay.
Yeah, that's the name. That's their name. The type of soldier. The same ones on Endor. They're rebel Pathfinders.
Cool.
They're like commandos.
Another variation of the Star Wars swear word in Dr. Aphra was frack, I think, or frack.
Frack.
I don't think it was frock, but it was definitely started with F and ended in K.
I'm sure it's just not fuck.
It definitely wasn't just fuck.
No, there was a Star Wars. I think it was a canon Star Wars book that just drops the shit. And I remember there was a big what? Shit exists in Star Wars? I just don't know what. I don't know why, but that just seems so strange.
Yeah, because Star Wars is for kids. I don't think we've ever...
That as well.
Yeah, that's
Oh,
why...
I always forget that.
Yeah, I mean, a person burns to death, basically, and there's a lot of dismemberment, decapitation, and other stuff, but saying shit that's off the limits.
Yeah, that's true.
Even though, wasn't bloody Revenge of the Sith the first...
It was a 12.
First 12 in the world?
I don't know. I know Attack of the Clones was a 12 as well.
I'm fairly sure.
They chop off a lot of limbs in Attack of the Clones.
Oh, yeah.
Anakin chops off 2 Tusken Raiders' heads.
Yeah, Mace Windu beheads Jango Fett.
Oh, yeah, and you
Django
see
Bango.
that. No, it's not Bango Bango.
No, it's Django Bango.
Django Bango.
Unleashed.
Yes.
Unchained.
Oh, my God. But yeah, you genuinely see Django Bango get his head chopped off, which is, like, pretty extreme. I know he's wearing a helmet.
What's Boba Fett's name then? Bongo Bango?
Bongo Bango.
No, it would be Bango Bango.
Bango Bango, Django Bango, Bango Bango. It's like poetry. It rhymes.
And Dango Bango.
Who's Dango Bango?
Din.
Oh, wow. Dango Bango the Mando.
Who else do we have? We have
Bango the
Sango Bango. We have Bango Bango. No, that's Boba Fett.
Boba Fett, Jesus.
Kango Bango?
Who's Kango Bango?
Bo Kango Bango?
Bo Kango Bango.
Sango Bankso?
That just sounds like fucking Australian slang.
It does. It would be Drongo Bango.
Big Drongo.
That's the shittest of all fats. I think that's what Drongo means anyway.
I forget what we were talking about.
We can rewind and see what it was.
No, okay.
It was something of decapitation. It was the age restriction on Star Wars.
Yeah.
But I don't know how we got there. We got there from Dank Farrik. That no one said it. I was going to say that at least in Czech Republic, I think Revenge of the Sith was the first 15-plus movie.
Fair enough. I mean, it bloody deserves it. You see, kids are implied to be murdered.
Oh, yes.
By the main character.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Is Anakin the main character of Revenge of the Sith?
I would say so.
I mean, who else would it be?
The movie is about his fall to the dark side, so... I think it's arguable that no one's the main character in Phantom Menace, for example.
Yeah, I saw the Red Letter Media review as well.
Oh, whoa. Did they say that in that? I can't remember.
Pretty sure they did.
Well, I guess Qui-Gon saw to this.
Sort of. Or I feel like Obi-Wan kind of...
Obi-Wan's not in a lot of that film.
He should be. That's probably what they said as well. But I feel like he could be the main character of 3.
He does not go to Mos Eisley. He stays on the ship.
Yeah.
Like, the entire time.
Espa.
Mos Eisley, sorry. Espa. Oh, bloody...
And Mos Espa is definitely where the speeder... Not speeder.
Bunta Eve Classic.
Yes. Named after a genocidal Hutt.
Bunta.
Yeah.
Wow. Bunta the Hutt.
I think it's somewhere in the Old Republic. Oh no, it's actually in that book you gave me.
Oh.
I could look it up, but let's not.
Let's not. Well, it's talking about decapitations and killing. So Ahsoka does kill.
A lot.
And I think a lot of people, not a lot of people, I would say maybe 0.01% of people after the Siege of Mandalore were like, Ahsoka doesn't kill people like she used to, because she used to, like, I mean, there's that really cool bit in Clone Wars where she, like, chops off, like, 4 Death Watch people's heads off at once. Pretty cool.
Yeah.
And then she just didn't do that in Siege of Mandalore. And people were like, why? And then Dave Filoni was like, Ahsoka kills people and trees. It was a dead tree anyway, so...
Yeah, and people using trees.
They were burning down the trees or something. Something to do with the industry was killing everything on the planet, because Bo-Katan describes it as a forest planet of Corvus, and everything's dead.
I mean, when we looked at the planet from the orbit, like, there was fire everywhere.
Yeah, it wasn't exactly Endor.
No, as far as forested planets go, this one was definitely...
Fit for 2020.
Topical. Everything's on fire. People aren't dying in the streets, but then again, they kind of aren't in real life anyway.
Yeah. Well, they were...
There were people, like, basically crucified in the
Yeah,
streets.
that's what I was going to think. It was quite brutal.
Yeah, they were in those, like, classic... you have to stand in one spot, and if you touch the walls, you get electrified.
I just thought they were electrifying them anyway, like, random points.
Could be.
But it could be that as well. That would
Could
make
be
more
both.
sense. Both is good.
Both is bad. I don't know which is worse.
Yeah. They had a big bell, though, in that city.
It was like a horizontal bell.
Which was kind of... I don't think that's how bells work.
Well, it's not really a bell, it's more of a gong.
Oh, yeah. A big cylindrical gong.
A big, massive gong.
Oh, yeah. And Ahsoka chopped someone in half. And the gong.
At the same time, no less. That was actually probably my favorite shot in the whole episode.
Yeah.
Because as soon as she swings her sabers, they like cut from the other side of the gong, and you can see just the lightsabers cutting through the gong, and both the body and the gong fall. And as it falls, like the entire screen shakes.
It's cool.
I thought that was something he took from like his animation episodes, because it's both a way to do something cool and a way to keep like a kill both violent and not violent.
Yeah, that's happens quite a lot in Clone Wars.
Yeah, it's like implications of violence. Like if you think back to like in the final episode or second last episode with Darth Maul basically doing his best impression of the Rogue One scene with Darth Vader, but arguably better, perhaps?
Yes, I would. It was a very good scene.
Even if you don't say better, I'm pretty sure it was more violent.
Oh, yeah. People get their head chopped off, people get impaled with a door, someone gets his arm chopped off with a door.
Yeah. And, like, panels that he ripped out of the walls. I get the sense that like Maul is a bit more sadistic than Vader. Like Vader is angry and kills a lot, but he doesn't do it in like weird ways.
Yeah.
He just chops people in half usually.
It's because Vader is more resigned to the fact that he is Palpatine's enforcer, whereas Maul, he is who he is.
Vader is more machine than man.
Exactly.
He's basically just, I better kill this guy because I am in pain. Oh god, where are my arms?
Where are my arms and legs?
Yeah.
How do I pee?
That's a good question. He probably has like an inbuilt dialysis machine so that he doesn't have to, because he probably can't.
Yeah.
That was like one thing that was really neat in like the previous run of the Dark
Vader.
Dark War of the Darth Vader comic by Charles Soule and Giuseppe Camuncoli, where they had like a couple scenes from like not Vader's perspective per se, but like when he's meditating, like what he imagines.
Oh yeah.
And you could see like basically what was still left of him was just like squiggles of red and black and like a white outline where his limbs used to be. Which is like, he can kind of feel that he should have them, but it's the only part of him that isn't in excruciating pain. Which was like a pretty cool thing, I thought.
Like Phantom Arm thing. You know, like...
It's like Phantom Pain, aka Metal Gear Solid 5.
Has a bloody red arm.
Yeah.
Might not notice me because of the red arm.
Oh no! And he can shoot it out like a rocket.
What? Oh yeah, and then he picks it back up.
No, it happens to be back. I'm talking about Big Boss, not C-3PO.
No, yeah, I'm talking about Big Boss.
You don't have to pick it back up. It just somehow appears back.
Oh, maybe that's why I remember it, because people were saying, how the fuck does he get it back?
It maybe happens in like Peace Walker when someone else has a rocket-propelled arm, which is also red.
Yeah.
You can also find an upgrade that lets you teleport people closer to you with that arm.
Metal Gear is a mystery.
To be fair, that's a reference to a different Kojima game, Zone of the Enders.
I'm not even going to try. Not even going to try and think. Oh yeah, so what I was thinking about Ahsoka, and we were pretty shocked when we saw her in live action, because her bloody Leku, well, not the Leku, her Leku are fine, but the uppy Leku parts, the pointy parts, smaller.
Yeah, she looked... it kind of felt like they just took the designs of her that they had for like previous things and just did that. Like I'm pretty sure she also had like the exact same outfit she had at some points in Rebels.
Well, she has this. No, she has the same headdress thing as in Siege of Mandalore, but it's slightly different.
I was talking about like the grey jumpsuit or whatever it is.
Yeah.
It looked at least very similar to what she wears then.
And also in Siege of Mandalore.
Probably. And but I thought that she looked really good, even though
considering.
I mean, if we compare her to Shaak Ti, who looks like she should never not be a background character.
She looks like when she's like walking, her head's gonna like pull her down to the ground.
Yeah, she wasn't designed to do much action.
No.
If you look at the deleted scenes from Revenge of the Sith,
the many.
Number one, just watch the deleted scene where Anakin and Obi-Wan are discussing which plan they should use by like rubbing their mustaches and winking. That's the funniest thing in Star Wars that I've ever seen. It should have been in the movie.
Number two is the part when Anakin is talking to R2 in droid speak flawlessly, making beep boop noises.
Number three, and the reason why I even started talking about this. Why am I talking about this?
Shaak Ti.
Number three, watch the deleted scenes for Attack of the Clones.
Oh my god!
And
you can't say, oh yeah, my favourite part of the deleted scenes of Revenge of the Sith is watch the deleted scenes for Attack of the Clones.
No, watch the scenes where Anakin and Padme visits her parents' house.
Indeed.
And it looks like, if you thought that Dexter's Diner looked too much like it was from Earth, watch that scene. It looks it looks literally like just a house you could find somewhere in California.
They have hologram pictures.
If you discount hologram pictures, it looks just like somebody's house on Earth. And
her dad's a doctor, I think. If you saw the one where he
I
talks
think he's
to
a
Anakin,
teacher.
or a teacher, something like that.
Which is a bit weird. I know that like queens on Naboo are not like an inherited role. You have to be elected queen.
Yeah. And Padme was elected.
Yeah, and her successor was also elected, which I'm pretty sure it was stated on screen.
Yeah.
In the same movie. And also watch that scene to confirm that Padme's dress wasn't that revealing, which Freddy thought it was.
That was just my memory. Bad memory.
I think you just have the robot chicken sketch room for strictly non-sexual matters stuck in your head. Probably. And everything that takes place outside of that room is for sexual matters in your brain.
That seems to be the way.
That's the way.
The way.
But number four, watch the deleted scenes of Revenge of the Sith again. In particular, I believe 2 scenes where Shaak Ti dies.
Indeed.
2 different scenes where she dies.
One on the invisible hand.
Where she is stabbed by General Grievous.
And she says, I'm sorry.
And she falls to the ground in a very weird manner. She like throws her hands up and looks, ah!
Yes, exactly that. And the second time in the Jedi Temple when she's killed on a hologram by in the security recordings by Anakin.
Yeah, you can pick whichever one's your favorite, but whichever one you watch, you will notice that Shaak Ti does not look like front ground material. Like the stripe over her eyes looks goofy. Her leku, as Freddy mentions, are way too big, like 3 times the size of Ahsoka.
Oh yeah. Definitely.
Which I'm not sure if they just changed their mind on how.
But she looks that way in Rebels.
Or they could have changed their mind since then. Or if Shaak Ti was like 70 years old.
Yeah.
Because let's not forget, this takes place 30 years after Clone Wars. So
this takes place 35 years. Wait, no. 37 years after Clone Wars.
So Ahsoka would be at the very least pushing 50.
Yeah, probably. Something like that.
Yeah.
She was 14, 13 start Clone Wars, and so 16 end of Clone Wars.
Yeah. Plus 37.
Yeah.
So
I'm not doing
51.
Maths. 51, yeah.
Oh no, we did numbers! There are too many numbers!
Numbers!
But like 451, she looks really good.
Yeah.
Considering that Alec Guinness was 63 in A New Hope.
Well, I did a whole video on that, which you can see if you look on our YouTube channel, On Air-Deraan.
Which you really should do, because Freddy is a whiz when it comes to videos.
But I can't export them.
I can. That's my job. I'm the exporty boy.
They export now.
The boy who formerly used to do sports.
Oh my god, exports. Oh.
I have many regrets, but this isn't one of them.
But Ahsoka does look very different to what she does in the epilogue of Rebels, especially.
Well, yes, mostly because she's not wearing a cloak.
I'll get the picture of her up. You're just gonna, the listener, you're just gonna have to imagine or look at it yourself. You can see that her leku, the pointy leku, are a lot bigger because they're actually pointing out of the cloak. Mm-hmm. And, well, I mean, her actual leku are quite long. The ones that go over her shoulders. Yeah.
Well, we still don't have like a confirmed date when that took place.
Exactly.
Even though, which book did you say it gave a rough timeline? Was it the Women of Star Wars?
Yeah, something like that. The Women of Star Wars says that it takes place after Endor.
Is that all it says?
Yeah, pretty much.
Just as after Endor?
I think, well, I think straight after, pretty much.
So, which technically would mean like 5 years prior to The Mandalorian or something. But I don't know how confirmed
Reference books can and have been overwritten.
Yes.
So, it's very much possible that the epilogue scene takes place after bloody Mandalorian, because it's implied in the epilogue that Ahsoka and Sabine are going to go look for Mr. Bridger.
And Grand Admiral Thrawn.
Mithranrodo.
That's his full name.
Indeed. Grand Admiral Thrawn, who gets friggin' name dropped
at the end of the episode. It's revealed that, what's her name?
Morgan.
Commissariat. At Magistrate Morgan is working for Thrawn, or has been.
Or has been, yeah.
Which I would assume that she is, because because Rebels took place a while ago.
I would say maybe. So Ahsoka says that she was responsible for parts of the fleets, and I was thinking, parts of the fleets. How does that make sense?
Perhaps.
TIE defenders. I reckon she controlled the or something to do with the TIE fighter factories on Lothal, which would then make her subservient to Thrawn in some sort of way. I think that's a possibility.
That is definitely a possibility.
But also, the fact that Thrawn was mentioned could either mean, so like, you got Morgan's possible connection, but there's more things to do with Thrawn. So it could be.
I assume... Oh, sorry, we're going to continue.
You go, it doesn't matter.
Because you paused there for like 5 seconds. You did a lot of elaborate hand movements. I was just going to say that I assume that she would be in contact with Thrawn post his space jump with squids, because I don't think that there would be anything added to the story if she asked someone who wouldn't have known.
Yeah.
I know that Ahsoka doesn't know, but Dave Filoni does. And I don't think that he would like start off on a blind lead.
That's why this could mean... I think this could lead into the epilogue in Rebels. Potentially. Because if she knows where Thrawn is, then bloody... she knows where Ezra is. Or she thinks she knows. Although, Thrawn could have escaped. Thrawn could be doing other things.
He could have killed Ezra.
Yeah. We know...
Ezra could have got Thrawn and taken his place.
Oh my god, Ezra became blue.
Yeah, I mean, he's wearing his skin now.
Bloody Morgan was strip mining planets, assumedly, and she has Beskar, who also has Beskar. Bloody Moff Gideon.
Does he?
Yeah, he has loads of Beskar.
Oh yeah, because he gave it to Din.
If he had gave that amount of Beskar to Din as a payment,
Yeah,
then
he
how
has
much
to
has
be
he,
loaded.
he has to have way more than that to give it to another Mandalorian.
Or to make Dark Troopers out of it.
Yeah, so
I
the
assume
Dark
that's what
Troopers
it
are
is.
probably made out of Beskar. His armor is probably made out of Beskar. He's got a lot of Beskar. Morgan's got Beskar. Morgan's attached to Thrawn. Bloody the actor, Moff Gideon's actor, he said that Moff Gideon basically knows everything that's going on in the galaxy.
Because he's the
In
warden
an
of the
interview.
galaxy.
Yeah, so he knows everything, and he sort of alluded to the idea that Moff Gideon has someone he's answering to. So could that be Thrawn?
It's very much likely.
I say it's certainly possible. So either the Thrawn thing is going to be a Mando thing, or, which I'm not really sure, or it's going to be a Rebel sequel series thing, which I think is more likely. But I think the Mando villain will tie into the Rebel sequel series, Thrawn villain, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I do hope that Thrawn isn't going to tie into this too much. That this was just a look at what another of your favorite characters is doing now, but it is related to it. Don't worry about it, because that would very much be in line with your worries that you mentioned 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, I don't want this to be. I don't want Mandalorian to become the Rebel sequel series. I want the Rebel sequel series to happen. I really want it to happen, but I want it to be its own thing.
I would be very happy if it was probably the crew from the epilogue of Rebels. If it was just Ahsoka and Sabine having their adventures looking for Ezra.
Ezra, yeah. I want to find Ezra.
We don't necessarily need to find him because
yeah.
But Ahsoka and Sabine having adventures. Ahsoka by herself having adventures. I would watch that in a heartbeat.
Yeah, well, clearly she's going around looking for things still.
Yeah.
Killing people.
As was established in your AI dungeons.
It's true. So, we haven't really discussed the AI dungeon thing, but I did a thing for predicting last episode of The Mandalorian in AI dungeon, and it said how Ahsoka was looking for a boy, which we thought was quite weird because that's like Ezra, and then that happens. And then in the AI dungeon thing as well, Ahsoka directed Din, or whatever he was called,
It was L?
Zell or something.
Zell.
Oh, I can't remember. But Ahsoka directs Mando to a old Jedi temple in the AI dungeon. And she does that at the end of this episode.
It's like they based the writing on your AI dungeon.
It's true. It is completely the whole plot. I now know all the secrets.
So we know that Din Djarin is going to die in the next episode.
And become one with the Force.
By enveloping himself in the darkness.
Yeah. And it's going to be a clone of Ahsoka.
Yeah, called Ahsoka.
I thought it was Asuka.
Well, it's double O.
Yeah.
It depends on your pronunciation of
That's
that
true.
sound.
But yeah, the temple that Ahsoka directs Mando to in this episode is on Tython.
Which I know is important, but I'm blanking on its importance.
It's where the Jedi started.
Oh my god!
I clapped when I heard Tython.
Oh yeah, that's where bloody... Do
you go there in one of the KOTOR games?
Not in KOTOR, but in Tor.
Ah. Well, they clearly like the bloody Old Republic, the people that make the show, because they were bloody... Those assassin droids...
Were they based on the HK-47?
They're HK-87 droids.
Whoa!
Broke new ground! Oh my...
I did think that they looked vaguely similar.
They did also look like they were wearing Wehrmacht helmets.
Honestly, when I first saw them, I thought they kind of looked like they could be Dark Troopers, but if they're HK-87...
I think it's 87 or something.
Whatever. That's probably even better, because it's less
That's
dumb.
the one thing I got spoiled from this morning, that there were HK droids. And I was like, surely not, surely not. I was like, in the back of my mind, I was like, you've been duped, son.
That's at the very least the third game reference.
There's been a lot of Old Republic references.
Yeah, the bloody crate dragon in episode 1, even the way they try to deal with it is lifted wholesale from KOTOR.
Trask. The Crickner / Kinrath.
Well, kind of.
Then I think
they're lifted from Ralph McCord.
They're more Crickner, but the eggs are Kinrath.
Sure.
What happened? Yeah, Trask. Then any reference last episode?
Well, not a direct reference, but we did say that the previous episode was a lot like a Dark Forces.
Mission. So they
So
clearly like games,
which could be a coincidence.
It
had the artificial force users.
Yeah, I forgot that's happening. What? This series has got so much cool things in it now.
Yeah.
There's going to be loads of things.
Yeah, it's bloody games and other Dave Filoni stuff.
I imagine that we might see more references to things then in future. I don't think they're going to do... It's possible they could do something regarding with Thrawn, the original Thrawn trilogy. It might be a soft reboot of Thrawn or retelling. Like Empire of the Hand type organisation.
Ooh.
But why? That's the thing. I don't...
What exactly do you not understand?
So, why would Thrawn stay with the Empire?
Well, we don't know that he did.
Yeah.
These people weren't the Empire. They didn't have stormtrooper armors. They vaguely looked like Kylo Ren, but that means nothing. They had the HK droids, which, as far as I know, are not an Empire thing as either. All we have to go on from is that I keep forgetting what her title is.
Magistrate.
That the Magistrate used to work for the Empire, and either she still works for Thrawn or she worked for him at one point.
Yeah.
But they don't fly Imperial flags.
No, they don't have anything related to the Empire.
Yeah.
But it's just that if Moff Gideon is also tied with Thrawn, which is a possibility.
I don't like the sound of that.
Why?
Because he's the big bad. So I wouldn't like it if he was revealed to be like the Darth Vader to Thrawn's Emperor.
Well, I think they're gonna do,
which they could still do. No one says that Moff Gideon is the great threat.
Well, as I said last episode of the podcast, I think there's going to be a lot more going on in the Outer Rim in between the original trilogy and sequel trilogy than what we know about currently. There's going to be big things happening, and this Mandalorian or Rebel sequel series will lead into that.
Which could still be Thrawn.
Yeah.
Yeah,
could be. It could not be Thrawn.
Yeah, that would bring him back to what Thrawn was initially in Legends.
Yeah.
He was the biggest character post Episode 6.
Yeah.
At least for a while.
Around this point as well, this point in the timeline, right?
Yeah, I think so. Well, I think it was slightly earlier. But, might as well be. Let's not split hairs.
It's but there's still going to be a lot of cool things to come. We don't know what the remaining 3 episodes of this series is going to be like.
Yeah, no. Well, it's probably going to be Moff Gideon chasing Din down. Yeah. I don't know if him getting
Grogu.
I keep wanting to call him Gunji. The Wookiee Padawan from Clone Wars.
You were saying Goku before the podcast.
Yeah, Goku, Grey Goo.
Grey Goo?
Yeah, the strategy game / possible apocalyptic event, I think. I think Grey Goo is...
Isn't that an X-Files thing?
Possibly. But I think that refers to the possibility of, nanites basically taking over the Earth and making everything into a grey mass of nanotechnology.
Yeah. That's probably where I heard it from.
Could be. They could have talked about it in X-Files, to be honest.
I've never seen X-Files.
Me neither.
The only experience I have with X-Files is that episode of The Simpsons with Mr. Burns.
Oh yeah, when people think that he's an alien because of his therapy.
It's I bring you love.
And my only exposure to X-Files was some sort of a kid's book from Czech Republic where they meet the X-Files people for some reason because there are alien worms that take over people's brains and also animals.
I imagine they didn't pay royalties for that.
Oh, definitely not. Mulder and Scully do show up in that book, but only after a different X-Files agent is smushed into paste by a rampaging elephant.
I have many questions, but I feel like...
As he should have.
Mm.
I don't think he actually dies. I think he's just hurt for the rest of the story, which is why they're brought in.
Yeah.
But he did get trampled by an elephant.
Well, rest in peace. And talking about Mando and Scully...
What?
Mando and Scully from the X-Files, they're taking Grogu to he will be taking Grogu to bloody Tython, which we've said is a place in the Old Republic.
That's where the bloody tangent started.
Yeah, that's where the tangent started. And
was a shorter tangent than I thought.
Well, considering it was like half an hour ago,
probably
in
earlier
our
than
time.
That, actually. Yeah, we had to pause for a little while to talk about cheese.
Indeed, a lot about
cheese.
Cheeseoid. Yeah, Cheeseoid hates Elf. But the point of the matter is, Tython is in the centre, is in the deep core of the galaxy. If you are an intellectual like me, and you observed the Navi computer from chapter 10 of The Mandalorian, so episode 2 of this season, you will notice that the Navi chart of the galaxy also has a planet in the deep core, which may or may not be Tython. So, if we see that map and him going to the planet in the deep core from the Navi map, you're welcome.
Oh, let's pause to talk about cheese once more.
So do you think we will see Tython in the next episode? Because he said, well, Mando's been tasked to go to another planet this time. I'll get to that in a second.
I don't believe that we will be seeing Tython. Maybe not even like properly in this series at all.
You think Mando's just going to be like, I don't care anymore?
It's not that he doesn't care. I think that we are... Well, I mean, firstly, we are very close to the end of the series.
Yeah.
And there's that whole problem in the Outer Rim to take care of, which I think would take precedent... Not precedent. Would... Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a higher priority than going to Tython. Especially since the Razor Crest is being traced by Moff Gideon.
Yeah.
I think
maybe he'll go to Tython.
He will be on his way there. I do agree. And maybe like they will pull the ending of Force Awakens at the end, that they will get to Tython and see something or someone. But
Elden Ring?
Elden Ring might be out by the time we get Series 3. That's not going to happen.
No, that's not going to happen.
No.
We might get another trailer by then.
We might get an actual gameplay trailer.
No. Or not gameplay trailer. No.
I mean, if bloody Jeff Keighley... Was it Jeff Keighley?
He said it was playable,
or
yeah.
Not Nick Spencer.
No, Jeff Keighley, I think.
Some kind of a Spencer. No, who's Jeff Keighley? Is Jeff Keighley the Game Awards
I
guy?
think so, yeah. And it was
No,
him
it was the boss of
wasn't
Xbox.
Was it Phil?
It was Phil Spencer.
Okay.
He played...
Quote
unquote, some sort of a version of... This has not got to do anything with
Okay,
anything.
so, bloody...
Tython. They're going to maybe get there or be like, okay, now that we've dealt with Moff Gideon, we can go. Or more probably, now that we've not dealt with Moff Gideon, let's not go to Tython and deal with him properly this time. Let's go meet up with Trapper Wolf and free Mandalore or whatever.
What if the deep core, much like how that's where Palpatine's Dark Empire was in Legends,
yes.
Will that be where Thrawn is? Or would that be where some people are?
Could that be where Ezra is?
Where Ezra is, yeah, that's what I was getting at.
Could his name be Bridger because he's a bridge between Rebels and...
He's not going to be a Mando. I don't think that...
Yeah,
I know we keep bringing this up, but I mean, considering that we've literally had... about 2 hours extra time to mull this over than in the podcast.
It's not like we were thinking about Star Wars this whole time. We are thinking about what? Freaking music and clowns and whatever.
But the point is that I think it's unlikely that we are going to resolve the Thrawn things in Mandalorian. But it's possible we might get a Tython, we might not get a Tython. Either way, Moff Gideon and the Outer Rim stuff, I hope and I expect are going to be the focus of the series.
Yeah. Unless they go to Tython and
Go-Go Gadget, Grover, what's his name?
Goonji, Grongu.
Grongu. What the fuck? I can't.
Grongu. Grogu.
Grogu. Grogu's gonna choose whether he wants.
He's going to choose that he needs to take down Moff Gideon.
Yeah, but the thing, Mandalorian so far, especially this episode, has shown that Grogu, Baby Yoda, and Mando's connection is far stronger than it's definitely grown and
Grongu.
Grogu. So much so that Ahsoka refused to train him because of that.
Yeah, because she saw what too much connection and fear and anger can do to a grown Jedi Knight.
Yeah.
Obvious reference, but
to Anakin.
Wink, wink.
Yeah, big sad moment. I literally cried. But
it was a Chewbacca moment right there.
Oh, when Han dies, rip. Too
Spoilers.
Soon. Spoilers!
That happened 5 years ago.
It did. Oh my god, I'm old.
Anyway,
so
low.
Oh, Star Wars story. But. Big but.
Stop saying that.
I'm not talking about. Fuck you. I'm talking about Grogu. He had been suppressing his Force sensitiveness, but therefore it's not like he was learning to use the Force for the first time when he was helping Mando with the Mudhorn. Is that he cared about Mando because Mando saved him from the bloody Nikto, who, I guess my theory that they were connected to the Princess Leia is fucking dead in the water. So...
Yeah, they were working for...
Someone.
It couldn't have been working for Moff Gideon because then he wouldn't...
No. It's not Moff Gideon. Someone else. Maybe something to do with the people that took him out of the Jedi Temple. Who the fuck took Grogu out of the Jedi Temple?
I mean, we don't know that it wasn't Leia.
We do know because she was born on Polis Massa not that long after.
I mean, Leia.
Jimmy Smits? What if it was Bail Organa?
He was not dead by then yet. That's true.
What
if it was Jet? What if it was Jet Lucas?
But the thing is that it must have been before Anakin killed all the younglings.
Well, they did say that he was hidden somewhere.
But by whom? Jocasta knew?
Probably. Although, probably not, because she did appear in the Darth Vader
And then
comic.
she also died.
And then she also died. And she had some sort of a list of Force-sensitive people, which may or may not be the same one from Fallen Order.
I think it might be.
It might be.
Guy from Fallen Order, Cal Kestis is going to die, so he's not going to go. He's not going to answer the Grongu's. He's not going to answer Grogu's call from Tython because he's going to be dead.
We don't know that.
He's 100. If he's not dead, I'm going to be annoyed. He better be dead by New Hope, otherwise, thumbs down. I genuinely, I mean it, a thumbs down.
It's true that would mean that there would be too many Jedi. Or at least like high-profile Jedi.
I don't mind there being Jedi that survived Order 66. I just kind of want most of them to be dead by New Hope. And that's not, I think there being Ezra and Ahsoka and Obi-Wan and bloody Yoda, that's 4. That's enough.
Baby Yoda. Oh, actual Yoda.
Actual Yoda was alive.
I forgot.
Actual Yoda only died 5 years before Mando.
You can just say Empire Strikes Back. That's not disallowed.
What?
Fuck Return of the Jedi.
Yeah, which is 5 years before Mando.
Yeah. It just confused me.
Yeah. Do you find it interesting that Ahsoka never says she's not a Jedi?
She does not.
Similar to my AI dungeon thing when she's like, I think I want to be a Jedi again.
She probably just mellowed out, both out of not wanting to be a Jedi and bloody not killing. Because like...
Some shit must have gone down when she just like...
Probably like now that there are... Well, no, she didn't... Was she like, no, I ain't no Jedi dude during Rebels?
I'm pretty sure she was,
Or was that like not properly...
Did Ahsoka kill people in Rebels? I can't remember.
I'm pretty sure she did. I don't think she was pulling her punches against, like...
Stormtroopers. Did she ever fight stormtroopers? I can't even remember.
To be honest, all I can remember of her is fighting the Inquisitors and Vader.
It was Darth Maul that killed them, though.
Yeah, well, I meant like even before when she was like first, like in action.
Yeah.
Remember when they
Phoenix
were like
Squadron. That shocked me when Ahsoka turned up.
I don't think I remember caring that much.
I was
then.
like, what?
I got it spoiled majorly, so I was like, okay, that happened, I guess.
Yeah.
Sad.
Sad times. Did it happen in season 1? I think it did.
I think it was the end of season 1.
Yeah, that blew my mind.
White my mind, because that's the lightsabers.
Yeah, white lightsabers in live action, pretty cool.
Yeah, we discussed probably off mic that white lightsabers on like out of animation would probably look kind of bad.
But it looked kind of good.
It looked really good, I would say. Even though I had some problems with like graphics in this episode, like especially like during the fight near the end, I just didn't really buy really
with the spear, the best spear.
The best. Now you're saying it more
The
than
thing
me.
is that if this was 3 hours ago in our time, I think.
No, I meant more so like the back streets and even the front streets. Like none of them really looked super convincing to me.
Choreography wasn't this episode's strong point. When you compare it to episode 3, you know, on Trask with by Bryce Dallas Howard, that episode's choreography was much better, in my opinion.
Yeah. Well,
I feel
also like most of Ahsoka's and Morgan's fight happens off screen.
It does, yeah.
While Din and Lang.
Is that his name, Lang?
Michael Bihn's character. That's how he's credited anyway.
Oh.
And him, which is basically just a standoff more so than a duel or anything.
I think it's interesting because it has both the samurai influences in the sword fight.
Oh yeah.
And then also the Western influences in Lang and Mando showdown, which I really liked.
I thought that it was a little bit weird that it was like a pistol versus shotgun duel.
Oh god, the shotgun with a sight.
It's a pump action shotgun.
Yeah.
That was so weird.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's the first shotgun we've seen in like. I know there's like a shotgun style weapon in at least Jedi Outcast.
Yeah.
But,
maybe in live action, you mean?
Yeah, definitely in live action, the first shotgun we've seen.
It's it's an interesting one.
Yeah,
the blasters that the goons use is given a name, but I can't remember it.
The Grogoons.
No, not the Grogoons. Bloody Baby Yoda loves that bloody ball though.
Yeah, the same ball that he was stealing in. What even was that episode? Was that Sanctuary?
I think it was episode 3.
Could have been. Yeah.
It was at the start of episode 3, and Baby Yoda took it off.
Yeah,
and then,
like one of the control sticks of Razor Crest.
It was when Mando was then going to take him to the client.
Okay.
And then when he went back in his ship after getting the Beskar armor, he was looking at the ball thing. I was like, I really missed that, baby.
Yeah, it's weird how that little ball keeps like coming back to it because that was like when Grogu was trying to train with Ahsoka, like she was trying to make him like, oh, force push this rock at me, boy, do that, and that's my Ahsoka impression, I guess.
Impression of Rosario Dawson. I'm kidding.
And
I thought it was fine.
What exactly?
Rosario Dawson's voice.
Yeah, I mean, it's been a while since we heard her voice. I didn't expect her to be.
We haven't
recast.
heard post Return of the Jedi voice, so it's not.
No, I thought Rosario Dawson was great as Ahsoka.
Yeah, I thought it was good.
Yeah, I mean,
a bit weird seeing.
Then again, seeing Ahsoka in live action was always going to be weird because it's not like Bo-Katan where the character is based on some specific human face.
Yeah.
Unless like someone was meant to be like
I think
Ahsoka,
it was based on Katie Stackhoff for Bo-Katan.
Yeah, that is the case. But I don't think that was the case with Ahsoka.
No.
So basically anyone they would have cast would have looked a bit odd. And Rosario Dawson didn't.
No.
Other than the Leku changing size.
Oh, yeah, which we've established.
A very, very minor point.
Yeah.
I think that the only thing that looked somewhat odd about her is how young she kind of came across.
As we've said, considering her age was around 50.
Yeah.
But
Sorry if I'm repeating myself.
We don't mean to repeat.
It has been hours.
I'm really sorry.
It's fine. It's not your fault.
Yeah. That was something you were talking about, the graphics in this episode.
Sorry. I was going to just finish the thought that the ball was used to connect with Grogu. Because he didn't want to use the Force on the Rock with Ahsoka, but
on
the Rock. But when Din asked him to force pull the ball, he was like, "Yes, Daddy, I will do it for you. I'm a good boy." Even though he's older than possibly both of them.
Yeah.
Either of them.
Well, it's possible he's the same age as Ahsoka.
He's definitely older than Din. He's probably...
Oh, yeah.
He's around the same age as Ahsoka.
You thought that they were going to take Mando's helmet off to connect with the child. I remember you said that during the episode.
Yeah, I did, but... in hindsight, he doesn't... I don't think that Grogu has seen him without a helmet.
No, I don't think so either.
So yeah, that wouldn't...
He's still abiding by it.
Yeah. Joe Biden.
Joe, yeah, indeed.
Won the election, woo. John Woo. Let's keep this train going.
No!
He starred in Mission Impossible. Kim Impossible.
I was going to talk about how the outside scenes, so in the forest, I thought they were done quite well. But you did comment on how we've seen the bloody gate and the front gate of the city quite a lot.
Well, it was
3 times.
3 times, but it probably wasn't the same establishing shot every time. But they did milk whatever sits they had.
Yeah,
quite considerably.
I think very considerably, because there were basically 4 locations in the entire episode, and that was forest, gatehouse, streets, and courtyard of the palace.
Yeah,
that's it. The only 4 places, which actually is
not counting a couple of back streets.
Yeah,
but
and also the Razor Crest. But normally the Mandalorian has more. It feels this one felt like it was too contained. I think that's one gripe I have.
They didn't make the best use of the volume.
No, I think
they did for the forest.
They did for the forest, definitely, because I felt like they were on location there. When I know they were in just a bloody studio with a volume.
Yeah,
so
it's probably the same place where they shot the duel between Rey and Kylo in The Force Awakens.
No, that was puzzlewood.
That was actual wood.
Yeah, that was actual wood. Puzzlewood. They used it twice. They used it on Takodana when Rey was running away.
And Kylo froze her.
Yeah, and then they also used it in the duel.
Base.
You can actually see the same gorge twice.
Interesting.
So that kind of annoyed me when I noticed. So now it's going to annoy all of you.
I don't think anyone is going to notice, to be honest.
Yeah. Oh, linking to that scene on Takodana, Rey's pistol that goes the pistol sounds similar to the rifle sounds of the goons in this episode. Fun fact.
Nice.
It's not fact. It's I don't know. It's just a thing. It exists in the universe, in our universe, and I'm
going to assume that it's by the same manufacturer. Possibly. Or uses the same source.
They didn't look similar though. That's the only thing.
Maybe they use the same source.
Yeah.
I saw Rey's pistol in the Star Wars comics 1 too many times. It probably wasn't that.
She kept that pistol.
No, it wasn't Rey. It was just random people,
bounty
hunters and stuff.
That's weird. Considering that pistol strikes me as something in the sequel trilogy era rather than any other era.
Yeah, well, all the comics are pretty much around
original trilogy.
Well, yeah, around episode 5, before and after.
Yeah.
They haven't really gotten anywhere further yet. I wonder if it's going to take another 5 years before they move the main series to another time period.
Oh, God. What could be interesting is if in between the Mandalorian, in that time frame that they do more stories, I think it's possible that Okay,
I mean, they haven't explored the New Republic era, Han, Luke, and Leia at all.
no. And also, J.J. Abrams added the bit that Leia, alongside being a politician, was also training to be a Jedi, which kind of fucks everything we know up already. But someone's going to have to make it fit, and also probably not be paid that much by Disney if they're an author. That's a hot take. Disney must pay the author of Splinter of the Mind's Eye and the A New Hope novelization.
Definitely Alan Davis. It's not Alan Davis. Something of the sort.
I can't remember his name. I believe we mentioned it last week, but they still haven't, so it's still
in
topical.
passing. But yeah.
But I was going to say that we know that Rian Johnson's trilogy of films is said to take place, and also that one that you thought might be Dr. Aphra, said to take place in a part of the galaxy we haven't explored much about. In a new, it's going to be outside the Skywalker saga. I do not think that this means it's going to take place in an unexplored or unknown part of the galaxy, as in unknown regions. I don't think that. It's going to take place somewhere that we know, I guess, but in new locations probably. The reason I think this is because the unknown regions is not that big.
Is it not?
No, it's not really that big, and I don't imagine that, at least in canon, it's not that big. Established in the Thrawn Ascendancy things, and I don't think that there can be huge conflicts or whatever that can be film worthy happening there.
Well, there don't have to be super big conflicts.
No, but I think what they can achieve there could be achieved in a new location in the known galaxy.
I think the point is, though, to go somewhere else, for the sake of going somewhere else.
Yeah, but the thing is, the galaxy is, we know,
They could theoretically just do a movie set on one planet. They haven't done that before. It would be cool if they did, I guess.
Maybe. I hope they do that with the Obi-Wan stuff.
Yeah.
If that happens.
They could just do season 1 of Rebels, but a movie. That takes pretty much place just on Lothal.
That was the first, really.
Yeah, there were a couple of exceptions. I think they went somewhere, but for the most part, season 1 and most of the second one as well was pretty much just Lothal.
Yeah.
Till Twilight of the Apprentice, that definitely wasn't there.
But what I meant is how the Outer Rim in Mandalorian isn't in the Republic, wasn't in the Empire. But
most of it anyway.
But it's still in the known galaxy.
Yeah.
So I think while they're going to be completely new stories and completely unattached to the Skywalker saga, there's going to be, obviously, I think it's not going to be 100% new. I think there's going to be some small things that's going to link.
Yeah, there has to be something that would let us know that it's Star Wars.
Yeah.
Even if they don't put any Jedi in there, even if no one ever says Republic Empire or anything like that.
Yeah. There
has to be a Gungan there or whatever.
Yeah, it's going to be something set either. I don't know. There's a lot of potential. I don't know why. How do I fucking talk? I think we're talking about comics and when they're going to be set in the sequel trilogy era or in between era. But
we've talked about too many things.
We've talked about a lot of things.
Maybe we should try to tie it all back now.
To Mando.
To Mando, and maybe finish it out, because we don't want to talk for 10 minutes about Blues Brothers again.
Oh God, yeah. Well,
we didn't talk about them last week, so that's why I said it. I was actually thinking that I have to bring them up.
Yeah, we don't have to anymore. We did mention the Blue Man Group earlier.
Oh yeah, the Blue Man's brothers.
Yeah, is that Max Rebo?
No,
he's a blue man. He's a blue elephant man. Yeah. Well, I think now's a good time to go on to our next section, which is pretty much our closing section, which is
light side, dark side, and the one in the middle,
the Bendu.
So, Freddy, have you put any thought into what your light side might be?
My light side would probably be... I want to say the name drop of Thrawn still being around and doing something.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't want that. I think that's... I'm a bit worried about that, so that's not going to be my light side thing. Instead, my light side thing is going to be the father-son relationship with Mando growing as much as it does, because I think that's probably my favourite part of the episode.
I agree. Like, I really liked, for example, after like Mando just decided like they finished the job, he will leave Baby Yoda with Ahsoka, and they are just like sitting there for like 20 seconds, just like looking at each other, just like Baby Yoda in his arms. That was really, really cute.
Yeah.
And he likes, follows his commands and stuff to like put his seatbelts on and stuff.
Yeah, but he's more attentive to Grogu now.
Yeah, if you say Grogu, he just turns his head.
He's like, you say my name?
You're approaching me.
Oh, God. So what's your light side then?
Probably a little controversially to what you thought. I would say the cinematography in this episode, because like even though the editing was a little bit all over the place, I really dug the like
Doug.
shots.
Sabaldla.
Yeah, I really inhabitant of Malastare, the shot selection that. I don't know if that's what the director of photography does. I don't know what director of photography is.
Directors should have some influence on shot composition.
Yeah. But like, there was a lot of stuff with like foreground-background interplay, like Ahsoka like emerging from behind something.
There were some very good shots.
Yeah, like, or for example, when she's like carrying around Baby Yoda with the moon in the background, and she's like basically just a silhouette, and Mando is in the foreground. Those were such beautiful, beautiful things.
Yeah.
The editing, it didn't quite play into it that well, because like especially like around the duel between Ahsoka and Morgan. That was like every second another shot, and it kept like cycling through them.
It was quite a bit chopper.
It was very chopper, but I did remember one thing from like samurai movies. Samurai movies. How you always have to like stay on the same like half. Basically,
good guys one side, bad guys another side.
Yeah,
George Lucas does that a lot in Star Wars. If you pay attention to that.
Yeah, but even though there was like one moment where they changed sides, so
yeah,
it was still like very clear like where everyone is.
Yeah.
And it was still a cool fight, even though it could have been better.
I suppose. I think it was good,
but the cinematography, like for the most part, I really dug. As we established.
My dark side might actually be the fact that it's not really focused on Baby Yoda that much anymore, because or at least not focused on what I think should be the main plot. Like, I think it's cool they're going to Tython. I'm just a bit worried because we've had episode 1 go to Trask, episode 2 you need to go to Trask still, episode 3 go to Corvus, episode 4 what's going on in the plot I want to see, episode 5 go to bloody Tython. Yeah, so, and Tython is going to be the first. Well, actually, no, it's not, because Tatooine was. Never mind. I retract my statement.
What were you trying to say?
I was going to say Tython was going to be the first planet that Mando visits that we had already seen. But I guess it's the first one that we know about but haven't already seen. If that makes sense, because we don't know what Tython looks like in live action.
Not in live action, no. But it's just like, I mean, we from what I know, we've only really seen it in the Dawn of the Jedi comics and in the Old Republic.
Yeah, at least Ahsoka didn't tell him to go to Batu or something.
Oof, to the Black Spire.
Black Spire. They mentioned it in Solo. I've already said. I said that like 2 weeks ago or something.
Yeah, and they go there in Thrawn 2.
They do. Thrawn 2.
Faking a strategy.
And Thrawn Ascendancy Chaos Rising is sort of set. Part of it is set concurrently to Thrawn 2.
And also Chaos Walking is an upcoming film starring Daisy Ridley.
And Tom Holland.
Yeah.
Indeed.
And
Tom Holland
It was apparently shot in 2017.
Really?
Yeah,
Jesus.
they had to hold on to it because apparently the state that the movie was in was like unreleasable. Apparently,
That's not a good sign.
no. And then they tried to release it like earlier this year, but obviously it wasn't really meant to be. So they're releasing it next year.
I was about to say, why does Tom Holland look so young? Why does Daisy Ridley have such a bad wig? Hot take right there.
Yeah, I hope it's not such a bad wig as the wig in Fant Four Stick.
Oh, what, the one that kept changing?
Yeah, how it was very obvious what scene is a reshoot because was Katie Marr?
Yeah.
I think that's
I don't know her name.
Invisible Woman. She had a very obvious wig for like half the scenes, and sometimes like in the same scene, like you look at her, she's got one type of hair, you look away, and you come back and she has a different one.
Yeah.
Different
kind of
set of hair.
Amusing.
It's the best part of that entire movie.
Whoa! I clapped. Well, I clapped every time the wig changed.
You see, it's actually a subtle nod to the artist on comic books changing.
Oh my god!
It was actually Josh Trank's best work as a director.
Oh god! Speaking of piles of shit, what's your dark side?
I want to say that my dark side was like the graphics, but I don't want to say that both my light side and the dark side were like the graphics. But like, I would say that the action scene near the end was a little disappointing.
Yeah.
Because like on one hand, like Mando did absolutely nothing.
Those droids were shit.
Yeah, the HK-80. Did we talk about them already?
We have.
Yeah, they kind of looked cool, but Mando, I think he shot like 2 people. He kicked one person, shot the other one.
Yeah.
Then he had that big standoff with Lang.
It wasn't the best.
I'm not sure if I mentioned, but Lang is the same actor who played Kyle Reese in the Terminator movies.
You have not mentioned that, but now you have.
Yeah, and also some sort of a Marine in Aliens.
And you mentioned he was in Scorpion King 4.
Yeah, and also, that was kind of relevant a while ago. He was in like a telly remake of Magnificent Seven.
Huh, that's something I don't want to watch.
Yeah, he was also in a TV film, The Legend of Butch and Sundance.
So not Butch Cassidy as the Sundance Kid?
Nope, just Butch and Sundance.
Great. Fucking hell. That doesn't sound good.
I mean, they were probably called that in the movie, but they kind of had to change the title so that it was different.
Yeah.
But yeah, my dark side
you don't
would
like
be
the action at the end.
It was kind of flat.
Yeah, I 100% get that. The spear, I didn't realistically think that spear could hold up against 2 lightsabers.
It's Beskar. We did see before then that Mando could just deflect the lightsabers with his hands.
Yeah, I know.
Which also felt a bit odd to me.
Yeah.
Because like a lightsaber can melt through a blast door of a Trade Federation.
Well, that's not going to be made of Beskar, is it?
Well, it's a ship.
No, but blast doors are made of very thick whatever. It's not because it's impervious to something. It's just because it's very thick.
Yeah, but it's a ship. Is Mando like more resilient than a bloody TIE fighter?
Yeah, because the Darksaber cuts through a TIE fighter.
Yeah, that's really weird. He's so buff. Like, how can he be hurt by anything?
Well, if he gets blown up and he suffers internal bleeding or something.
I guess shock would be able to damage him, but still.
Mando has that spear now, so will we see it more? Will we see someone get fucking speared?
Did he keep it?
Yeah, he kept it.
Oh, so it's not. So it's not the staff that Ahsoka has.
It's not. Me and Voita thought that when Ahsoka was offering the spear to Mando, that Mando wouldn't accept, and then she would keep it because it has a very similar sound when it's hit against the floor to the sound of Ahsoka's staff in the Rebels epilogue. Mm-hmm. But we double checked, and the staff at the end of the epilogue, it has a bit of a round, like a circle at the top.
Well, I thought that she could like reforge it somehow, but
Potentially.
I don't.
But then that wouldn't be a spear, it's just a staff. And also, Mando did take it.
Yeah. So yeah, it's pretty likely that he will like spear someone. Moff Gideon, perhaps.
Oh, that'd be cool.
Although
not this series.
He will probably kill him with the Darksaber.
Mm.
Unless he like kills himself somehow by trying to fly away but failing.
Yeah.
He will die the same way as the alien from Force Awakens did in Episode 2. Remember the jetpack boy?
In which episode?
In bloody Frog Girl.
Oh yes. Yeah. That guy.
That was so long ago.
That was fucking hell. That was.
Wait, this is episode 5. It's only 3 weeks ago.
Yeah, that was the first episode of the series.
No, it wasn't.
Oh yeah, it was second episode.
That was after he was coming back.
I'm losing my mind, Voiter.
It's been too long, bloody.
Speaking of, sorry.
No, go ahead.
I was gonna say, speaking of losing your mind, much like how Thrawn did when he saw him. What's the one in the middle? The Bendu.
Well,
that was so fucking tenuous. Holy shit.
Well, no, it's pretty good. It's pretty good. But speaking of bloody the one in the middle of the Bendu, and speaking of rebels and Thrawn.
Whoa, rebels! That's a cheeky reference for Star Wars fans.
Oh yeah,
Ah yes, you are fluent in Huttese. Oh Java. So we should just have that as our intro. No,
yeah,
no.
We should have what's it called? Shaq Krava.
What?
Shaf Kraga, the band that plays Jabba Flow. Shaf Kraga.
I got a feeling we will get cease and desists if we do that.
Well, not if it's like a remix.
Speaking
of, we may or may not have bloody what's it called? A theme song on this or the following episode.
I didn't say what's it called? Jack. I was like,
to be fair, I forget most people's names.
Apart from Grogu, I mean, fucking
Gardula.
Garbu. What's his name? Gargo.
Grongo.
Grogu. Grongo.
Gargoyle.
Grogu.
Grogu.
Grogu. That's it. Fuck yeah.
Graf Karga?
Graf Karga. It's like,
Van de Graaf Generator?
Van de Graaf. What's your the one in the middle?
The Grongu.
The Grongu. The big Grongu.
Speaking of rebels, I didn't know how to feel about it, but it's kind of neat that the Loth Cat is popping up again in the Mandalorian.
I was gonna mention that.
Yeah, I was thinking, which episode is this? Because of course it appeared in episode 4 of season 1, Sanctuary.
Lots of Loth Cats this episode.
Or the same one, but in 2 different shots.
Well, 3, right?
Really?
Well, at least 2.
At least 2.
Possibly 3.
Which
Maybe
was
I'm
pretty cool.
Losing my mind.
Yeah. When I was watching the scene, it was like I was a little annoyed.
You were like, fucking Loth Cat!
Why are you here?
Where's my Loth dingoes?
There in episode 1, we established that they ate Luigi like
they ate Luigi like a dog, like a baby. I mean.
Baba. Oh, Baba. What's
Loth
wrong
Cats.
with me? Loth
You're going
Cats.
about Loth Cats.
Yeah, but like it's kind of neat that like they're making everything matter.
Yeah.
Like episode 1, they brought in stuff from the books and the games.
Indeed.
Bloody force sensitive factory. That's also from the games.
Yeah.
They're bringing in so much stuff from Clone Wars and Rebels. On one hand, it could get a little bit out of hand, but if they do keep it at just like checking in with people and not them hijacking the show.
Which this seems to have done, because I got a feeling Ahsoka's not going to be in it.
Yeah, she's not coming back probably.
Yeah.
Yeah, that kind of made me, again, a bit more hopeful for the future, even though Dave Filoni may have let us down a little bit.
Oof. In what way? Expand.
It wasn't our favorite episode, was it?
No, it was
we
not.
didn't like. And to be fair, a lot of it was probably the editing. Some of it was like the special effects. But like, you weren't the biggest fan of like the direction and stuff. And
the thing, Dave Filoni directed The Gunslinger last series, which was also episode 5. And I like that episode, but I do think it does have some bad shot composition at times.
I don't remember the shot composition there, but it definitely wasn't my highlight.
I think this, in episode 5, The Gunslinger, there was a bit when Mando's talking to Tusken Raiders, and they sort of just appear out of nowhere, even though they're in the middle of the desert. And I think that was impaired by the fact that everything was basically in mid-shots because of the volume at the time wasn't as big as it is this season. But I feel like, obviously the volume is pretty big for this season, presumably. And they're able to do a lot more things, but I don't think it was used to its fullest potential. I feel like, this Dave Filoni was directing this episode as if it were an episode of the Clone Wars, in the sense that in the Clone Wars you only have a set amount of scenes that you can use. So instead of going out of their way to go to new places, like you see, like last episode with Carl Weathers, he wasn't like thinking about, oh well, I can only go to 4 places because it's going to take so much budget to make all these places. No, he just went. It made sense to have Navarro, have the school, have the administrative place, have the road to the base, have the bottom of the base, have the actual base, have the inside of the base, the lab, the TIE fighter bit at the back, and then the chase, and then all of that. And he wasn't restricted. Whereas
the bloody Architans.
Yeah, the Architans. I mean, Jesus Christ, that episode. You saw a lot more things. In this episode, you only really got to see 4 locations. And I feel like that is similar to how Dave Filoni would direct a Clone Wars episode, where it would cost a lot of money that they didn't have to set things, Does that make sense?
Yeah, definitely.
So that's like... Yeah.
So he's still like trying...
He needs to get more into live action, like into that mindset. The completely different mindset.
Was that the second ever thing he directed, like a live action?
Yes, it is, yeah.
Yeah, well...
I think The Gunslinger was a better episode. Controversial.
Well, that is very controversial. I might punch you in the face after this.
Well, actually, no, I think... Okay, maybe this episode was slightly better than The Gunslinger, but I still like The Gunslinger, okay?
I would say that this one had definitely more story, similar amount of plot.
Yeah.
And it's not like The Gunslinger had like a huge amount of what's it called? Not combat, fights.
No,
there was like that
one shootout that was from very far away.
One sniper shootout, and I'm probably forgetting something because there's no way that that episode was so short.
Had a showdown as well, much like the end of this episode, between Din and the tryhard bounty hunter.
It did, yeah. I have to rewatch that because like in my brain that episode would have taken up like 5 minutes.
Yeah, it's a very short episode. Most of it is just Din fucking walking and traveling on a speeder, getting the speeder stolen when he gets a dewback. It's like, fine, and he goes all the way back on a dewback.
I don't remember that at all.
Yeah,
it's been a while. It's been like a year.
Yeah, it has been a long time.
But in a galaxy far, far away.
Whoa. Yeah, Dave Filoni, while obviously he is the God Emperor of mankind and the second coming of Jesus.
The second coming of Kathleen Kennedy.
Yeah, I do think that he needs to get more in the live action mindset.
It's a bit strange that like, not Dakota Fanning, what's her name? The director of episode 3.
Bryce Dallas
Howard, like, that episode was her second ever thing she directed, period.
Yeah. Whereas
Dave Filoni has a long bloody career in animation direction.
Yeah.
And it feels like that experience is like working against him.
Yeah.
For all the reasons you mentioned.
Exactly. I think Bryce Dallas Howard's episode was really well done. I really like how that one was shot. I really like the action choreography and the way that was presented with the camera. Because I didn't used to when I was younger, but nowadays I really appreciate camera work.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't think this episode had that interesting camera work. It wasn't fluid. It was as fluid as I would hope. It probably was fluid, but I just can't remember.
Yeah. It did have better cinematography, but other aspects, it was a bit lacking.
Yeah.
But anyway,
I've still got my middle.
Yeah, was the
Bendu.
Was you mentioned you said you were going to mention the Loathed Cat as well? Was that going to be your one in the middle? The Bendu?
Well, it was both.
Catan.
Both Catan. I was going to mention either the Loathed Cat or the fact that Thrawn was mentioned, because I am ambivalent about Thrawn. Because while I'm happy, I'm also, I sort of want you to be involved. I also don't, because Rebel sequel series, I don't want to be too tied into the Mandalorian. I want it to be his own thing. And then again, I don't want Ahsoka to just reference Thrawn in this episode and then him never appear ever again, because that would just seem too much of a tie. And they'll be like, check out the Rebel sequel series coming out in a couple of years. It's I don't want that. So it's going to be hard to reconcile with all of this. It's
it's a bit of a damned if you do, damned if you don't.
Yeah.
Because if that plotline doesn't go anywhere, bloody what's his face?
Boba Fett.
Bango Bango.
Bango Bango, yeah.
Bango Bango appearing in episode 1, and apparently his TV show is confirmed and is going to be worked on. If the entire point of him appearing was he exists in the universe and he's gonna come back.
I don't want this to happen to Mando. Let Mando be good.
Well, it's not about being good or being bad. The thing is establishing it in something so that it can later come back in one way or another, whether it's in Mandalorian or in its own show.
Yeah.
Because if you don't do that and you just go, Bango Bango is just back somehow, it's fine, he's here. People would be like, plot hole, it was never that. And if they do this, then at least they are we're sowing the seeds. Where bloody Reddit is going to theorize so many things that we can just lift one of their theories wholesale.
Like my AI dungeon.
Exactly like your AI dungeon that you did a week and a half ago.
Indeed. But the thing is, it's I don't want to go the DC route, where it's just check out sequel coming, Flash movie coming, bloody all of these things. It's sowing the seeds of all of these things, but then it never does them, or it just does it to the detriment of whatever it's being sowed in.
Well, I feel so far they integrated it fairly well.
Oh yeah, I agree, because I feel like Bo-Katan could feasibly show up again.
And
Ahsoka, but if it's a fucking Bo-Katan show, I'm going to be a bit annoyed.
I don't think they're going to tie literally or spin off literally everyone.
But what if they do? That's the thing. I don't want them to. I sort of feel like they've got integrity to not do that.
I don't think they will. I think that in some interview, what's her face, Katie Sackhoff said that it would be kind of cool if Bo-Katan could appear in the Obi-Wan Kenobi TV show, which I don't think.
What? No!
It's not gonna happen. It's definitely not gonna happen. But she was if that was an option, I would be really into that.
Maybe in a flashback. Oh, I'd love to see a Clone Wars flashback with Tamara Morrison's Clone Troopers.
Oh yes.
I would genuinely clap. I promise. Okay, this is a promise. If I see live action Clone Troopers ever again, and with Tamara Morrison, I will clap.
Especially if it's Rex.
Especially if it's anyone. If I'm in a cinema and I see a live-action Clone Wars Clone Trooper voiced by Tamara Morrison, I will clap. I promise.
They would have to be voiced because he looks a lot older now, doesn't he?
Yeah. No, I mean, even if it's a Clone Wars reference. I mean, flashback, sorry. I would like to see that. But then again, don't want there to be too many spin-offs. I feel like Star Wars' future is in TV shows. I genuinely think that, because I think the medium of a TV show works far better for Star Wars than a movie does, which I think is kind of funny. considering that Star Wars has only been movies.
Yeah. Because like the trapping of a movie is that you kind of have to justify it being bigger than a TV show.
Yeah.
Which is probably why you have a freaking Death Star or Death Star
Every
equivalent
time,
in
yeah.
every fucking movie.
Mm.
You like Rogue One was kind of an outlier that it was slightly like smaller scale, but even that was
Solo
about,
was very small scale.
yeah, and it didn't do well, even though it was for every reason other than what the movie actually was.
I would have liked to have seen a Solo sequel series. Han Solo TV show, please. Starring
I
Aldo
think
Nemo, right?
we might be getting a Lando TV show.
Yeah, I would like that too, but I want the Maul thing continued.
It might. If
That's
it's
the
a
thing.
continuation with Lando, why not?
Simultaneously, we're going through a golden age for all of this kind of stuff. But I'm like, how much is going to be dropped? That's the thing. Like, how much is going to be untouchable just in case someone does it? And then it never happens. Much like how no one was allowed to write about Coruscant in the sequel trilogy era. Because it was going to be originally used by Colin Trevorrow in episode 9. And then that never happened. And so Coruscant, absent from the sequel trilogy, completely. How many things are going to go that route? Are we ever going to learn about Bo-Katan? Are we ever going to learn about the Shadow Collective and Maul in between episode 3 and 4? Are we ever going to find out about Boba Fett? I mean, bango.
Did we have that conversation where we came up with Bango Bango on air even?
I fucking hope so, because otherwise this is going to be so confusing. No, yeah, we definitely did it, because we went through all of the Bangos and all of the Mandalorians.
Yeah, even Sash Go Bankso.
Oh, fucking hell. Yeah.
That's the best one.
The guy...
Yeah, the Australian, that's Drongo Bango.
Oh, yeah. I want things to not be dropped, but simultaneously, I don't want everything to be a spin-off. And then simultaneously, I don't want The Mandalorian to become something... It's not...
Technically, everything is a spin-off already.
Yeah, I know.
But yeah.
But yeah, I think...
I see your point. Like,
you've got to be careful.
I see your point. It really puts a stranglehold on the bloody expanded universe.
Yeah.
Like, there's only so much that you can do, like, talking about the pilots in the Rebel Alliance. Or who else are they even talking about? You can't even...
Yeah, exactly. Because it's like, I feel bad for Timothy Zahn that he can't do anything with Thrawn. Like, in the present. Everything he's been doing with Thrawn is a prequel, basically, to what happens in Rebels. Now we know he's back. Will Timothy Zahn have anything to do with that?
I kind of doubt it.
It's all going to be Dave Filoni.
Yeah.
And hot take, Timothy Zahn writes Thrawn better than Dave Filoni.
I mean, I didn't read the Thrawn trilogy. I read the first one.
Yeah.
But it feels kind of different.
Yeah.
It feels like he's less of a like Mary Sue in those books.
But it's just that I would feel bad if Thrawn's story ends and Timothy Zahn didn't write it.
I hope that they would bring him in at least for that.
At least as a consultant.
Or
a writer for the bloody Rebel show. I hope he's at least a writer for the Rebel sequel series for Thrawn, because I mean, Jesus Christ, otherwise he's going to be shafted, and I just feel bad for him because it's his character.
I mean, considering how Disney treats other writers, as we've established.
Yeah,
it's
just I just want more Star Wars, but you also want
more Star Wars.
I want more Star Wars.
But I don't want sequel to Solo. In other words,
it's I mean, I'm not denying that we are lucky to have this much Star Wars, but I'm wary, but I'm still hopeful. Like, I feel like I'm going to enjoy next episode of Mandalorian. I enjoyed this episode of Mandalorian. Like, I thought it was a really good episode. It wasn't the best in this series, but I mean, I really enjoyed it.
It kind of made me feel like I should probably place less trust in Dave Filoni.
Yeah, like
he's not Kathleen Kennedy.
I mean, if you go back a couple episodes of the podcast, I did say he's not the God Emperor people make him out to be. He does do some things that people don't like and people forget about it.
Yeah, like the entire scrapping, like the entire, even what was canon about the Mandalorians.
Yeah, that was canon at the time, and you said no. So, yeah. He did bring Ahsoka, he's got Ahsoka in live action now.
I hope he's happy.
Hope he's happy. I hope his hat is happy.
His hat is always happy.
Salting hat.
Salting, sort of. Speaking of headwear, if I may have like one final thought about Ahsoka's Leku.
Indeed.
As well as being smaller than they probably should have been, they felt really inorganic to me. Like the creases on them did not look like something that would happen on.
I know
like,
what you meant.
A piece of skin or meat at all.
Yeah, I viewed them as like what an elbow looks like.
Yeah, but they felt more like
the inside of an elbow. That is.
Yeah, they felt very much like something that was like stuffed with felt, which is what they are, I guess. But they didn't look like
the thing is
like the bloody Twi'lek Leku look quite a bit more convincing, even though we have had our.
I disagree. I think 100% the Ahsoka's Leku look better than the Twi'lek Leku we have seen in The Mandalorian. I think the Twi'lek Leku, as I love the costume design in The Mandalorian, but the Twi'leks look wrong, in my opinion.
I think that your biggest problem was also the positioning of the Leku.
Yeah, and their fucking big foreheads.
And the bloody vampire great teeth.
Oh yeah.
They've always had that, but they look even more pronounced here.
Yeah. Does Ayla Secura have vampire teeth?
I don't remember. But I don't think she did.
Yeah. Possibly. They all have cone ears, which is funny. And Ahsoka doesn't have any ears and still doesn't. So I can't remember if I said it on the podcast or outside the podcast, but I made a joke that they were going to retcon Ahsoka to have ears.
Oh god, I think you did say that on the episode, and I still hate that idea.
But they didn't do that.
They didn't do that.
Ahsoka has #Ahsoka no ears, so we can all rest in peace.
Yeah, don't forget to put that on the Twitter.
On the Twitter,
Ahsoka no ears.
Yes, I will. As soon as we finish this podcast, I will.
And you, our dear listeners, don't forget to follow us on Twitters.
At On Air-Deraan, all one word.
And don't forget to follow us on YouTube.
On Air-Deraan.
All one word.
No. It's spelled as it is on here.
Yeah. On space air-Deraan.
Yes.
Deraan.
And
send us a message directly on the bloody fucking what are they called? Emails.
What do they call these newfangled emails?
If you let us feel your thoughts on the email. We have to talk about that.
Speaking of, oh my fucking god.
Ahsoka is a Boar gullet confirmed.
Ahsoka was feeling Baby Yoda's, Garbo's thoughts.
Grogu's thoughts, which was how she learned his name.
Yeah,
and then he is canonically a boy, so we can't even.
We already knew he was a boy.
Well,
you were like, I can feel his thoughts, and you said it's gonna be a girl. It's like actually it's a girl, but no, Ahsoka didn't say that.
I thought it would be kind of funny. I thought that it would.
They did say he was a boy in the first episode of Mandalorian.
Oh well.
Yeah. Retcon!
Well, no.
No, they didn't retcon that, but Ahsoka did feel.
Yeah, that's how she learned his name and stuff. It might be how she learned that he was on the temple. I don't know.
Yeah, because Baby Yoda, Greg was telling Ahsoka.
Gregor
Clegane was telling Ahsoka how he escaped the Red Keep. And
right. You're still going on that.
No, how he escaped. Well, he didn't say how he escaped the Jedi Temple. He just said my mind was hazy until Mando.
Oh yeah, that's true. Yeah, so Grogu forgot about.
Is it Grogu? I can't remember.
don't know. I think it is. I'm pretty sure it's
Grogu because it sounds like Goku.
And it sounds like Grey Goo.
Grey Goo. Yes.
Even though it's green and not gooey.
Okay, now.
But it does sound like Goku.
It does sound like Goku.
Groku.
Grookey.
It's a Pokemon.
Is it?
Yeah, it's a leaf monkey.
Huh.
From the latest one. It's green.
Yeah.
But now I don't know how Yoda is called again? Grogu.
Yeah.
Why is it so difficult to
I
remember
don't
his name?
know. But Ahsoka didn't say it's the baby Yoda. Did make mention of Yoda.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, rest in peace, Yoda.
Yeah, you are the best, I guess.
And he dead.
And he might show up in High Republic.
Yes, because he's alive then.
He's definitely alive. I think I've seen like a design of what he would look like.
He looks like Yoda.
We won't see really anything like official from then until like
Next
January.
Year. Yeah.
Even though there are like 8, as you told me, there are about 8 chapters of the first book by Charles Soule out.
Yeah,
which I might check out.
Light of the Jedi, check it out.
I probably will. We'll see about all that space debris in hyperspace or whatever it is.
Killed a lot of people.
Yeah, and the Star Wars comics are full of references to bloody High Republic these days.
Because all the writers are writing for the High Republic.
Yeah.
So that's why.
Yeah.
They wanna get as much exposure. Like, we don't really know much about the High Republic stuff. There's plant people are villains as well.
Plant people?
Yeah.
Are they the bloody, what do you call it? The Nile? Are they the
No,
plant people?
There's Nile and plant people.
Cool. I can't wait to see them.
Indeed, it's going to be an interesting January if we survive to that point.
You may fire when ready.
I just want to say just one word, and that is Grogu.
Good thing you said it because I kind of forgot what it was. I thought it was a Gogur for a second.
Gogur! Grover!
Grogu. I keep wanting to call him Gunji.
Goku.
Goku, Grey Goo.
Grey Goo? Go Gadget, Grover, what's his name?
Gunji,
Grongu. What the fuck? I can't.
Grongu. Grogu.
Grogu's. So he's not gonna go. He's not gonna answer the Grongu's. He's not gonna answer Grogu's call. Yeah. The blasters that the goons use is given a name, but I can't remember it.
The Grogoons.
No, not the Grogoons. Grogu.
That the ball was used to connect with Grogu. To be fair, I forget most people's names.
Apart from Grover, I mean... fucking...
Gardula.
Garbu. What's his name? Gargo.
Grongo.
Grogo. Grongo.
Gargoyle.
Grogu.
Grogu.
Grogu. That's it. Fuck yeah.
Graf Karga?
Graf Karga. It's like,
Van de Graaf Generator?
Van de Graaf. What's your the one in the middle?
The Grongu.
The Grongu. The big Grongu. Ahsoka was feeling Baby Yoda's... Garbo's thoughts.
Grego?
Greg.
Grogu's thoughts.
Baby Yoda, Greg was telling Ahsoka.
Yeah, so Grogu forgot about...
Is it Grogu? I can't remember.
don't know, I think it is. I'm pretty sure it's
Grogu because it sounds like Goku.
And it sounds like Grey Goo.
Grey Goo. Yes!
Even though he's green and not gooey.
Okay, now...
But it does sound like Goku.
It does sound like Goku.
Groku.
Grookey.
It's a Pokemon.
Is it?
Yeah, it's a leaf monkey.
Huh.
From the latest one. It's green.
Yeah.
But now I don't know how Yoda is called again. Grogu.
Yeah.
Why is it so difficult to remember his name?
If you don't want to be spoiled, fuck off.
What? No. What?
No, then fuck back. Purple lightsaber.